Rockford's home for classic rocks, 96.7 The Eagle. Good morning, it's Double T. Joining me, special guest from Emerson Lake and Palmer, Carl Palmer. He's got a new project out called Carl Palmer's ELP Legacy. You're coming to the area to the Arcada Theater in St. Charles on November 2nd, which that's a great theater. I'm sure you've played there before.
Yeah, we've had a lot of good fun there, and it's a great theater. We really love it, and obviously something we're looking forward to playing. You know, we played there a few times, and this time we've got a different show completely to what we played last time. Playing for about an hour, 50 minutes. Got Paul Bielatowicz on guitar, Simon Fitzpatrick on the bass guitar, Chapman stick, and you know we're going to be playing everything from the beginning, from ELP to Tarkus, some classical adaptations, you know, Hoedown from the Rodeo Suite by Copeland. Yeah, it's going to be a good show. Plus, you know, the features of Paul and Simon and myself. So that's going to be a great show.
And I look at the name, Carl Palmer's ELP Legacy, and I look at that word legacy, and I really like how you have that in the name of the project. When you were putting it together, did that put some pressure on you, the legacy of ELP?
Well, probably even more pressure now because Keith and Greg are no longer with us. But, you know, the music has to live on, and the music is rich enough and diverse enough to attract a large spectrum of, you know, different age groups, and that's what we're finding. We found that with when the ELP was together. So I'm just really carrying on in the same mode, not playing it exactly the same, because the music has got to grow. It's got to reach new generations, which it is. I mean, I'm seeing up to 3 generations now at concerts. I'm seeing guys my age. I'm seeing the sons. So, you know, it's quite magical in its own way. It's exciting because it has stood the test of time, and that's the most important thing. And playing it the way we're playing it with guitars and not keyboards just shines a different light on it.
Changing from the keyboards to the guitar, was that a pretty smooth transition from one instrument to the other?
Yeah, basically, you know, I mean, I wasn't too sure what could and couldn't be played. I know that, you know, to have played it exactly the same using keyboards like we did with the ELP, you know, would have been wrong, really. We need to advance the music and push it forward, and as I say, take it to a new generation. And we are playing to, you know, 3 generations of people now. As I said earlier, the people my age, their sons and the sons of the sons. So, you know, what we're doing now by using guitar, lead guitar, 6-string bass and the Chapman stick really gives it another color. As I said earlier, you know, this music has been played by classical orchestras.
I'm talking to Carl Palmer from Carl Palmer's ELP Legacy. You know, you talk about those new generations discovering your music. I really love the resurgence of vinyl because a band like ELP got to listen to it on vinyl. And for a while, it's hard to find that old school vinyl of ELP records. But now it's available again, right?
It's all been re-released. All of the albums are on vinyl. There might be the odd one, but all the major albums are available on vinyl as we speak, and BMG have done a great job. I mean, they haven't put. We've got a new album out here, which is a live album and a live DVD, which is a tribute to Keith and Greg. Obviously, that CD is not on vinyl yet, but I'm sure it's going to go right through the catalogue as time goes by. So, yeah, I mean, I understand the vinyl thing. It's got bigger and bigger, and it is one of the medias that have come back with a vengeance, and it looks like it's here to stay for the second time.
The tour you're doing is Emerson, Lake and Palmer Lives On, and it's more than just the music that you're doing in the shows, right?
Well, we have a large screen where we show footage, you know, which is kind of a cinematic approach to the whole set. But really what we're doing is trying to tie in the visual aspect into the music. So there's nothing up there which doesn't relate to what we're doing. It's all to do. There's a connection, and the reason being. So that's what that's all about, yeah. And obviously, it's the whole visual thing, which is very important, as well as just the high-end technical playing and the great music we're performing. So it's a package.
And you're doing some art that people can check out too, right?
Some artwork, yeah. If you go onto www.carlpalmerarts.com, I've been doing it now for about 7 years, and I'm on my second catalogue. You know, we've been very successful with that because, you know, it's quite an interesting art form because it's constructed with the movement of light, and the light comes from drumsticks, which are LED drumsticks. In other words, they have a small light in each of the sticks, which, you know, doesn't go out when I actually physically play the drums. They used to years ago. It's something I've been involved with since '73, believe it or not. But it'd be better just to go to the website and see how it actually lives and works. And that's www.carlpalmerart.com, and check it out. We've also donated a lot of money to charity over the years. Well, ever since I started, we've given up to 25-30% of the money we've taken in the sales of the canvases to various charities throughout America.
I'm talking to Carl Palmer from Carl Palmer's ELP Legacy. When you go see a show as a fan, you try to remember it months, weeks, years later. But now with technology, you can really come out with a great live CD, DVD that people can go back and relive that experience. And you guys have got one out now, don't you?
Yeah, we do. It's called Carl Palmer Live. And basically, it's a tribute package, as it were, to Greg and Keith. There's a live album I recorded with Paul Bielatovich and Simon Fitzpatrick. There's an album in there which has got some new classical adaptations, not all ELP music. And then on the DVD side, there's an hour-and-a-half show where we're playing a lot of ELP, only ELP material. And we've got guests, people like Mark Stein from Vanilla Fudge, for example, is playing Knife Edge, and he's playing Welcome Back, actually singing. And there's Steve Hackett from Genesis, who plays some harmonica and guitar and things like fanfare. There's the Ida Choir, who are singing Jerusalem, which was a single that ELP released in England, but the BBC banned it because they figured this should only be heard in the church because it was a hymn. It's quite an interesting DVD, and it's shot very, very well. And obviously it's a tribute. It started off as a tribute to Keith, to be honest with you, because Keith died in the March 2016, but by the end of the year, Greg had already, was getting very ill, apparently, and died in December that same year. So we kind of held things back and finally released it as a tribute to both of them. So that's my offering, really.
Make sure you check out Carl Palmer's ELP Legacy, hitting the Arcada Theater in St. Charles on November 2nd. It's the Emerson, Lake and Palmer Lives on Tour. It's going to be a spectacular show. Carl, thank you so much for taking the time. Cannot wait to see the band live.
Okay, thank you, and it's been a great pleasure talking to you. Hope to see you soon.
It's Rockford's home for Classic Rock, 96.7 The Eagle.